Video so it looked like Satou Sabally. Road to Indiana has officially begun.
The WNBA's biggest free agency bombshell just dropped. Dallas Wings have officially said Satou Sabally, but she's made it clear she wants out, with Indiana Fever emerging as the front runner. This move could reshape the entire league's power structure. The basketball world just got rocked by what's happening in Dallas. The Wings' decision to designate Satou Sabally isn't just another WNBA transaction. It's a move that could reshape the entire league's future. Let's dive deep into what's really going on. Behind the scenes first, we need to understand what this core designation actually means. When a WNBA team calls a player, they're essentially saying you're too valuable to lose. It's the strongest card a team can play to keep their star player. But here's where things are interesting. Sabally has made it crystal clear she's ready for a new chapter. Satou Sabally, she is a player we've been talking about, those people who are fans of the Indiana Fever, and we have said we would love Satou to come on over to Indiana because we weren't thinking that she was going. Looking at Sabally's journey in Dallas tells us everything we need to know. She's transformed from a promising draft pick to one of the league's most versatile players. Last season wasn't just good, it was career-defining. We're talking about numbers that put her in elite company. 6 points, 1 rebounds, and 4 assists per game. These aren't just stats, they're a statement. What makes Sabally special isn't just the numbers, though, it's how she gets them. At 6 feet 4 inches, and she moves like a guard but can defend multiple positions. She can knock down threes, drive to the basket, and make play for others. In today's WNBA, that kind of versatility is gold. The Wings knew this, which is exactly why they made this move. Satou Sabally, I like your style, pick it up and carry it. But Dallas's decision to call her isn't just about keeping her, it's about controlling the situation. They're looking at the bigger picture. Sabally is determined to leave. They want to make sure they get something valuable in return. This is where the business side of basketball comes into play. The timing of this couldn't be more crucial. The WNBA is entering a new era. Television ratings are up, social media engagement is soaring, and the level of play has never been higher. Teams are positioning themselves not just for next season, but for the next 5 years. Dallas knows they're holding a valuable card in Sabally years. So, do you have any ideas of what you might prioritize, or do you plan to stay in Dallas next season? I've already communicated with Dallas and how grateful I am because they've made this a home for me for the past years, and I'm working with them together and finding a next home for me because I've already played my last game in Dallas, and I'm just excited. I'm excited for free agency. I'm able to talk to a lot of players from outside the league because I have not played on a different team yet, and I'm excited to get to know them more on a personal level, but also knowing how they approach the game. And I just love having basketball conversations and high-level IQ conversations about the game to know where I will best in the future. Let's talk about what Dallas stands to lose. Sabally isn't just a star player, she's a marketable personality who connects with fans. Her international background, her social media presence, her style of play, it all adds up to someone who helps fill seats and sell jerseys. The Wings aren't just losing points and rebounds, they're losing a face of their franchise. The relationship between Sabally and Dallas has been complicated. While she's thrived on the court, there have been hints of dissatisfaction by behind-the-scenes social media posts, cryptic interviews, and now this situation. It all points to a player ready for a fresh start. Wings probably saw this coming, which explains a proactive approach with a core designation. What's fascinating is how this impacts the Wings' roster construction moving forward. They got other talented players like Ara Ogunbowale and Tiara Melwen, but Sabally's potential departure creates a significant void. This isn't just about replacing a production, it's about finding someone who can impact the game in as many ways as she does. The financial implications are significant too in the WNBA, where the salary cap is tight. Losing or trading a max contract player can reshape a team's entire financial structure. The Wings know this, and it's influencing how they're approaching potential trade packages. Looking at Dallas's recent history, they've been building something promising. They made the playoffs, showed flashes of brilliance, but never quite reached that next level. Sabally's development was supposed to be a key part of their ascension. Now they're faced with a pivotal decision that could affect their trajectory for years to come. The Wings front office deserves credit for being proactive. Instead of letting Sabally walk for nothing in free agency, they're ensuring they'll get assets in return. It's a business decision, but one that shows they're thinking long-term. They're not just reacting to Sabally's desire to leave, they're trying to turn it into an opportunity to show something else. I like her style because whenever you're dealing with, say, politics, and basketball is very often more political than politics itself, but when you're dealing with politics, when you're dealing with sports figures, when there's free agency involved and all those things, it's really difficult to get a straight answer from people. People often don't tell you. The WNBA community's reaction has been fascinating. Players around the league are watching closely, knowing this could set precedents of future free agency situations. Fans are speculating about potential trades, and media members are trying to read Between the lines of every statement and social media post, behind-the-scenes sources suggest multiple teams have already reached out to Dallas, while Indiana seems to be the front-runner. Other teams would love to add a player of Sabally's caliber. The Wings are in a position to create a bidding war, potentially maximizing their return in any trade. The pressure on Dallas's front office is immense. They need to balance multiple factors, getting fair value in return, maintaining their competitive standing, and sending a message about how they handle star players who want to leave. It's a delicate balance that could define their reputation in future free agency periods. What's particularly interesting is how this situation reflects the WNBA's growth. A few years ago, this kind of drama might have been a footnote. Now it's a major story, generating headlines and social media buzz. The league's increased visibility means every move is scrutinized more than ever. The Dallas media has been all over this story, reporting every detail and development. Local fans are invested, knowing this could be a turning point for their franchise. The Wings have built a loyal fan base in Dallas, and how they handle this situation could either strengthen or damage that relationship. The Indiana Fever's emergence as a front-runner in the Satou Sabally sweepstakes isn't just random chance. It's a result of perfect timing and strategic planning. The Fever have quietly been building something special, and Sabally could be the piece that transforms them from promising to powerful. Let's start with what the Fever already have. Aliyah Boston isn't just good, she's transformative. The 2023 Rookie of the Year has shown she can be a franchise centerpiece, averaging 14, 5 points and 4 rebounds while shooting an impressive 57.8% from the field. And Alyssa Smith has developed into a reliable force, and her chemistry with Boston in the front court has been growing with each game. Then there's the Caitlin Clark factor. The presumptive first pick in the 2024 draft isn't just any rookie. She's a generational talent who's already driving season ticket sales before even being drafted. Her ability to shoot from anywhere combined with her elite passing skills makes her the perfect modern point guard. The potential addition of Sabally to this mix is what has WNBA observers buzzing. Imagine a lineup where you have Clark shooting and playmaking, Boston's interior dominance, and Sully's versatility, the spacing, the matchup problems, the offensive possibilities. It's enough to keep opposing coaches up at night. But it's not just about the highlights, it's about how these pieces fit together. Let's break down what Sabally would bring specifically to Indiana. Her ability to play multiple positions would give the Fever incredible lineup flexibility. Need more shooting, put her at power forward. Want to go small, she can play center in certain matchups. Need playmaking, she averaged 4 assists last season, exceptional for her position. But here's where things get interesting. The Fever need to make the numbers work. A sign and trade for Sabally means putting together a package that satisfies Dallas while maintaining enough depth to compete. Sources suggest Indiana might need to part with some combination of players and draft picks. The talks could potentially include veteran players, future draft considerations, and maybe even rights to international players. The financial aspect is crucial too. The WNBA salary cap means teams have to be creative. Indiana has positioned themselves well, maintaining flexibility while building their young core, but adding Sabally on a max contract means making some tough decisions about their roster construction. They'll need to ensure they can not only sign her, but also maintain enough cap space to build a complete roster around their core. Looking at the market impact, this move could be transformative for the Fever franchise. Indiana's basketball culture is strong, but the team has been rebuilding since their championship days. The expected arrival of Caitlin Clark has already generated unprecedented season ticket interest. Adding Sabally would create even more buzz in a market that's hungry for basketball success. The chemistry aspect can't be overlooked. Sully's game would complement Clark and Boston perfectly. She can space the floor, create her own shot, and most importantly, she doesn't need the ball in her hands constantly to be effective in today's WNBA. Having multiple players who can create and score is essential, and this potential lineup would have that in spades. The timeline for all of this is particularly intriguing. With free agency underway and the draft approaching, decisions need to be made quickly. The Fever can't afford to let this opportunity slip away, but they also can't afford to overpay. At a delicate balance that requires both patience and decisiveness from a front office. Looking at the broader implications, this move could shift the WNBA's balance of power. The Eastern Conference is already competitive, with teams like New York and Connecticut setting high standards, but a Fever team with Sabally, Clark, and Boston will be a force for years to come. They'd have youth talent and versatility, the holy trinity in modern basketball. The development aspect is fascinating too. All these players are young and still improving. Boston is just scratching the surface of a potential. Clark will be adjusting to the pro game, but brings unprecedented shooting range. Sabally, despite her accomplishments, is only 25 and entering her prime. The potential for growth is enormous. From a tactical standpoint, head coach Christie sides would have incredible options. The Fever could play fast or slow, go big or small, and switch everything on defense. Saball's versatility would be key here. She can guard multiple positions and create mismatches on offense in crucial moments. Having players who can adapt to any situation is invaluable. The impact on the rest of the roster would be significant. 2 role players would have more space to operate. Defenders couldn't focus on just 1 or 2 players, and the overall level of play would likely rise. Veterans on the team would benefit from the increased attention and spacing that this core would create. There's also that international appeal to consider. Sabally being from Germany brings a global following combined with Clark's massive popularity and Boston's rising star. The Fever could become a team with significant international appeal in today's digital age. This matters. Building a brand and attracting future talent. The business implications extend beyond just ticket sales, merchandise, sponsorships, media coverage. All would likely see significant boosts. The WNBA is growing, and having multiple marketable stars on one team, especially young ones, is invaluable for building a sustainable franchise. Looking at the competition, other teams aren't standing still. The Liberty have their super team, the Aces are defending champions, and several other teams are making moves. The Fever adding Sabally would be a clear signal that they are ready to compete at the highest level. The pressure to make this work would be significant. High-profile moves come with high expectations. The Fever would need to manage these expectations while giving their young core time to gel. At a balance between competing now and building for sustained success. The long-term implications of this potential move can't be overstated. If successful, it could set up the Fever for a decade of competitiveness. More importantly, it could create a model for other teams looking to rebuild through a combination of draft picks and strategic free agent acquisitions. What's particularly fascinating about this potential move is the ripple effect it could have throughout the league. We're not just talking about one team getting better, we're looking at a possible shift in how WNBA teams approach roster building. The Fever will be showing that patient rebuilding combined with aggressive moves at the right time can transform a franchise. The player development aspect is crucial here. Indiana's staff has already shown they can nurture young talent, as evidenced by Boston's rookie season. Adding Sabally to this environment could help her reach even higher levels. She'd be surrounded by players who complement her game while still having room to be a focal point of the offense. There's also the question of legacy. The Fever have a proud history, including their 2012 championship. This move could be the beginning of their next great era, with Clark's arrival generating unprecedented attention. Adding Sabally would show that Indiana is serious about maximizing this moment in their franchise history. The next few weeks will be crucial as free agency continues and trade talks. Dida